Considering that it's about $200 today, I think that for it to go up 100% would be very rare in crypto summer. At least 300% would be more common. Thus, let us mark that as that seems like a good place. Some charts and log charts help me figure out that the number I get ranges from 812 for a full bubble cycle to over 2000 for a shortened cycle to around 750. Narratives are a big part of what drives bull markets in the Bitcoin space, and they can lead to big returns on investments. This is particularly clear in TokenSol's impressive success over the It started at $1.990 in January 2023 and soared over $1.195 5-month, a huge 1,879% rise in just 14 months. Bitcoin, the biggest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, went from a little more than $7,000 per coin to around $72,000 during the same time period, which is a 323.5% rise. Solana's growing fame and success show how strong people can be when things go wrong. It continues to attract developers, institutions, and users because of its high throughput, low transaction costs, and easy-to-use ecosystem. This is what drives widespread usage. People are also curious about what FireDancer, a new validator client made to get around Solana's transaction speed limits, might mean. FireDancer was made by Jump Crypto and has a new script that is optimized for high performance. This means that transactions will be processed faster and the Solana blockchain platform will work more efficiently. Raoul Pal, a famous economic expert and crypto investor, is very optimistic about Solana's future, especially after learning about the progress being made on FireDancer in 2023. He thinks that this new validator client will change everything for Solana and the cryptocurrency business as a whole. A successful testnet launch was reported on October 31st, and the main net launch is set for the summer of 2024. Powell thinks that Solana's price will go up a lot, from less than $200 today to as high as $2,000. FireDancer mainly checks that Solana is right. This is in testnet at the moment. It's basically an extra way to connect to the Solana network. The company that made it is called Jump Dealing, and they do a lot of very fast dealing in crypto. It was also made to be fast enough for high-frequency trade. There are limits to high-frequency trade. In high-frequency trading, the goal is to be the fastest at seeing the flow of bids and placing your own. Because they're using the speed of light, they use huge fiber optic lines that are as short as possible. They say that you can't do that on Ethereum, Solana, or any other platform. In this case, you need something that can change speed in a quantum way. For that reason, they made a fresh copy of Solana that can be used as your auditor. If the number of transactions Solana can handle per second is 65,000, then this is potentially 1 million. It's almost like a whole game chain. What does that then allow? What makes me interested in it? Because of things like Solana's 2 projects, one of which was compressed NFTs, which let you make 1 million NFTs for $100. That's also happening on layer 2s like Base, but not at layer 1. Now let's talk about Solana. That means it's very cheap. That means you don't have to use NFTs for expensive art or stuff. It can be used for tickets or other high-frequency things. For those who have a chain that works as fast as the stock market, you can now tokenize platforms. One way to use the blockchain is to make a market like NASDAQ. Now things get really interesting. This tech stack isn't ready yet. It won't be this cycle, but people will use this new speed and low latency in interesting ways that will help build a story. Things will be launched on it next cycle. That's what I think about this. We've basically given people 2 new skills, and now they'll start to play around with them, and the story will start to take shape. For the next cycle, there will be work on it. However, it changes everything about crypto, and most people still don't know about it. There is a lot of traffic on the network right now because of meme coins and other things. We have also seen this happen with ETH in the past, where it just gets too busy. It's being fixed right now so that there is more bandwidth, or the ability to handle all the activities that need to happen. I think the TPS is the number and speed of transactions that can be done without the system going slow. But you also need computing power to back it up. So yes, we've seen Solana deals fail right now because the network is too busy. This is similar to how you can overload a cell phone or broadband network. It's all the same. That's why you need more computing power. You need to do more work, fix a few things, and speed things up a bit. In other words, it's not really broken. It's just being pushed to its limits, which I think is a good sign, especially if they work on a good patch and get it approved quickly. Remember that we had the same thing at ETH in 2021? It was huge when NFTs became popular on ETH, and it just got too much with DeFi and everything else at once. ETH. The network was slow and petrol fees went up. You were not able to make purchases. That's a good sign after all. It means your product fits the needs of the market. We don't really know, but I think that if Solana is around 200 today, then it would be very unlikely for it to go up 100% during crypto summer. Most people would expect at least 300%. There are new all-time highs for ETH and old all-time highs for that high. That brings it to 600. That seems like a good place to put it, so let's mark it. I get between 800 and 1,200 if I use a few charts and a few log charts. I believe it can go above 2,000 during a full rising cycle. In a short loop that got stuck, 750. That kind of thing. The point is that there is still a lot to play for. Bitcoin is the drug that gets people into other drugs. You might be able to get your dad to cross the line with Bitcoin, and all you have to do is use digital gold, store of value, or something else simple. ETH is the payment layer for all layer 2s. I also think that a lot of the financial services business will build on top of it because they see it as the safest option. Like when you use Salesforce for your CRM and other things. It's kind of like AWS, right? You won't get fired for it. Now that fire dancer is out, I think Solana will get some of that market. We'll talk about that another time. In general though, ETH is the better pick. Like if you work for a big company, they'll give you Microsoft Office. ETH stands for Microsoft Office. The truth is in the food. I'm mostly Solana. That's my big bet for this period. In the previous cycle, I bet that Bitcoin would turn into Ethereum ETH after the bottom of the Bitcoin to ETH cross. And it really paid off because it did so much better than expected. And this time I moved my ETH to Solana in August of last year and it paid off big time. I think it keeps going.